So after a long time of waiting for the Marvel Zombies, we finally got it, and all I have to say is that I'm very impressed with this show. Maybe it's because I had low expectations, but going into this show I wasn't expecting much. Maybe because the zombies we saw in What If didn't give me the satisfaction I needed. I always felt that in the episode that there was holding back, that there wasn't going all out, and the universe must have heard, because this show clears all of that up. Marvel really took advantage of this show being animated so that you could do R-rated stuff like people getting cut in half and heads blown off. God damn! So what I want to do is go through my general thoughts and what I thought of the show. So episode 1, it kicks off with Kamala Khan, Kate Bishop and Riri Williams. All three of them are just trying to survive, and it's cool seeing like what a young Avengers would look like in the MCU. We got teased of it at the end of Quantumania, but I really hope after this they really push for a young Avengers. I generally enjoyed the dynamic between all three of them, and it was a very smart choice to have Kamala Khan be the main character of this series essentially. I generally believe if you ask people what was the most favourite part of the Marvels, it would be Kamala Khan. It's already been stated a number of times, but Iman Vellani really is Miss Marvel, and she depicts perfectly everything that we love about the character. Throughout the show, Miss Marvel is having to confront the fact that she's putting people that she loves in danger in hopes of curing the world, and I'm not gonna lie, she as a character loses the most out of any of the characters in the series. I hope that this convinces Marvel that we want to see more Phase 4 and Phase 5 characters, because the main cast of this series were all Phase 4 and Phase 5 characters, and I'm glad because it gives characters like Miss Marvel and Shang-Chi more of a shine because they've only had one outing. I'm glad that this show just exists like a proof of concept, because let's face it, we're never gonna get a live action Marvel Zombies, so I'm glad that this is the next best thing that Marvel can do. And just like the comics, it's cool seeing our favourite characters being turned into these monsters and still being able to use their powers in unique ways. When Captain Marvel was fighting Icarus, it just shows you how powerful and how dangerous someone like this could be if they became infected. And like I said earlier, because this is like a multiverse story, they really can hold no punches back. So when Kate Bishop died, I was shocked, I'm not gonna lie. And it's not just her, so many of our favourite characters just end up getting killed in gruesome ways. When we get introduced to Blade as Moon Knight, and we see our first look at what Mahershala Ali's Blade would feel like in the MCU, I liked it. It's kind of crazy at this point, he should have been in the MCU by now, but because of the delays of the movie, we ain't gonna get him for a while.
I'm tired of suffering.
But I don't mind as long as the movie's good. Not only is this just regular Blade, but it's Blade possessed by Khonshu, so he has the power of Moon Knight on him as well. And throughout the series, he was putting in work. I think he has the most kills out of all of them. Another thing that I liked about this series was instead of picking up straight after the episode of What If, we follow new groups already living in the universe. So like I said before, we got Miss Marvel's group having Riri Williams and Kate Bishop on it. The next group that we follow in episode 2 has Shang-Chi on it with Katie and people like Death Eater on it. A very heartwarming moment was when Shang-Chi's father sacrificed himself to save his son. That's one thing that this show does very well. It keeps the characters' cause intact. It doesn't abandon them for silly jokes. This isn't me saying that there's no jokes in there completely, but when the moment calls for it to be serious, it takes it there. A moment that actually got me teary-eyed was when Yelena sacrifices herself and we see Red Guardian distraught, and David Harbour does an amazing performance voice acting this character. This show does a very good job at mixing in the zombie stuff with the Marvel superhero universe, because there's a moment where they need to get refuge and they go to Zemo and he's in charge of the raft, and they use the raft as like a floating island to be safe from zombies, and Namor appears, and that whole sequence was just very cool. Again, the show puts phases 4 and 5 characters in the forefront. Episode 3 is where we continue and we find out what happens at the end of What If. We find out that the cure that they had in What If was never gonna work, and it leads to a battle between all three of them, and Black Panther ends up sacrificing himself to save the world. Unfortunately, because Chadwick Boseman passed, the character never spoke, not one word, and I could understand it not wanting to recast him so that we can remember him. Hey look, all I have to say is that when Thanos shot Rocket with the Infinity Stones and he turned into bones, that was brutal. And in this episode we see a broken Thor, probably more broken than he was at the end of Endgame. Half of his body's like burnt off, he looks like Two-Face. He's not even partying with the rest of the Asgardians, he's just sitting on his own. I like the moment where Miss Marvel saves Thor and you see that look in his eyes acknowledging her, and we get an epic entrance of Scarlet Witch. I think it's so cool that she's the one in charge of this whole thing, and it makes sense that she would use her mind control powers to control the rest of the zombies and do her bidding for her. Because I'm not gonna lie, when the group was in New Asgard and we see Wanda in a human form, I thought she was actually telling the truth, until she did the Doctor Strange thing and revealed it was all an illusion. As usual, Elizabeth Olsen gives an amazing performance as the Scarlet Witch, but this time it's very menacing and it's very terrifying. I don't think she raised her voice not once in this whole series. It just shows you how much power she has. There's a lot of very cool action scenes in this series as well. I think my favourite one has to be the ending where Infinity Hulk, yes that's what I'm calling him, where he's just battling the entire of Wanda's zombie army. I love the subversion at the end where it's revealed that Nova has put Earth under quarantine and there was never really planning on actually saving the Earth. I like it because it forces the group to get creative, thinking of different solutions to save the day. And the thing that surprised me the most was that they didn't win, they actually lost. Miss Marvel gives in to Wanda's wishes and she thinks that she's with Riri and Kate, only to find out that she's still in this zombie hellscape, and it leaves us on a massive cliffhanger. Now, here's what I'm saying. I need a season 2 immediately. It'd be so cool seeing different characters become zombies or interact with zombies, like the Fantastic Four or the Defenders or even the Guardians of the Galaxy. I really want to know if the Thing can become a zombie. Can a zombie bite pierce through his rock skin? But overall, like I said at the beginning of this video, this series really surprised me and I want more. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.